My dad liked collecting cars. He used to look at cars and think, future classic, buy them at the right price at the time, with all the good intentions of getting them all restored. Obviously, some got more done than others.
Neil Walker has decided the time is right to let some of his late dad's car collection go.
Volvo P1800, beautiful looking car. It stood 20 years. Lovely looking body lines. Obviously, seat missing out inside. If you saw a car, I'll be honest, he had a good eye for a future classic at the right price. So, obviously, over the years, he bought quite a few. Some of them he restored, some of them he didn't. This is one of the ones that never got restored. There's a Woolsey Hornet. There's an old AGS motorbike. And my favourite is probably the MGA. Lovely looking car. It was probably 80% restored, never actually quite finished. Really nice car. Actually, Derek said that this actually was one of the nicest driving British cars that there is. So this one, I think, was imported from America. It was actually a left-hand drive. It was all converted to right-hand drive. Most of the restoration was completed on it. It was just never quite finished, so this one has actually never been on the road. The old Woolsey. Now, there is a story. He actually bought this for my sister when she was going to learn to drive. He thought it'd be a good idea to buy this for her. I think she must have been quite keen at the time, or she pretended she was keen just for him, because I think he had his heart set on my sister having this for her first car. I did ask her if she wanted it again, and she politely declined.
Also heading to the auction, Inspector Morse's Japanese runabout.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember what you call it now. Mitsaki or something. Misogi. But you see, even you can't remember. My dad bought this one a few years ago. He used it quite a bit in the summer. He used to try and get us to go out in it, but obviously wouldn't be seen dead in it. He liked things that were different, that would turn people's heads, that somebody would look and go, what the hell's that?
This is what you get when you cross a Nissan Micra with a Mark II jack, a car that defies conventional explanation. So here goes. A coach builder specialising in hearses, Mitsuoka make extraordinary cars that pay homage to British and American classics. This is the Mitsuoka Ray. The company describes it as being like a graceful and dignified flower, whereas you are probably seeing a Riley elf crossed with a Mazda Carol. Even more extraordinary is the top-of-the-range Galoo, a kind of Rolls Bentley Cadillac Continental that comes with an options list that includes a Bose stereo and lace curtains. Strange though they may seem to us, in a country where individualism is revered and cars are reasonably priced and always start, the Mitsuoka makes total sense.
He would buy something, he would love it for a bit, and then he would get bored, and then maybe look for something else, buy something else, see him again, and that's basically how we end up with so many cars over the years. Last night, when I got a few of them ready downstairs and that, being able to see them with no covers on, was a bit of a lump in the throat moment. But me and my mum went down, had a look at them, and it's not all about the money as well. I think it's more the fact is, I'd rather somebody took them, finished them, enjoyed them.
Derek's made the trip up the rainy A1 to County Durham, where Neil Walker is parting with his late dad's collection.
Going to go and pick up this Volvo 1800, put that on top deck, and then pick up the little Woolsey, put it on the trailer for a minute or two, then go back to the other spot where the other stuff is, and then we'll have a little swap round and put MGA on the bottom deck, see?
Derek's made it to Neil's, where the vintage classics are ready to collect. First out of the blocks, wrong colour, but the Simon Templar car, the Volvo P1800.
You've got a strap in the cab if you want a strap.
Aye, just need a bit more on it.
Who's driving?
I can't see a thing, like. Straight on there, Harry.
Yeah, we'll see that one up there. Straighten up.
You suit this sort of car.
Do you think I should have kept it?
Helping out is Billy, an old pal of Neil's dad.
It's sad to see them go, but I would like to see them finished. His dad used to start stuff and not finish it. And he's a bit like his dad and all, mate.
Right, Neil, come up a bit. Go on, go on, go on. That'll do ya.
And just around the corner, Neil's dad's British collection.
Perfect, isn't it?
Right, rocking and rolling.
Looking forward to that cup of tea.
Aye. Kettle's on, don't worry.
Is it? Oh, that's all right.
Right, Wolsey.
Yeah, bang on. That's it, mate. This is the one, it will. This is the one that's going to cause the interest, I promise you, it will. And they've got that nice little refinement, like automatic power steering, bit of wood inside. They don't make much money, 3 grand, 3.5 grand, plenty of them around that sort of money, unless they're really nice. Volvo, I can see it doing 10 or 12 grand myself. And the MGA, that's really the way it is. First time I've seen it under flashlight, but 10 grand really.
The rain is showing no sign of easing. Good thing his dad bought Jack some wet weather gear for his birthday.
Happy birthday, Jack.
We have the perfect one in the picnic. Time for ducks here. It is flat.
Jack, Mick and Paul have drawn the short straws. The Durham Hall needs offloading before the whole caboodle is washed away.
I'm right pleased it all arrived today, the wettest day of the year. I think I'm the only one daft enough, or the rose lot up here, to actually, you just wouldn't, would you? Just leave it in yard, wouldn't you, and worry about it the next dry day.
Right hand a bit.
Steady, left of it, steady. Left of it.
Oh, lovely weather we have, boys. It's lovely, isn't it, Jack? Look at it.
Yeah, go on, you're all right. Mick says even his knickers have got wet.
Back in the shed, Derek's giving the first of the Durham Hall the once-over.
Wolsey Hornet, Riley Elf, luxury minis as we all know, bit of wood, bit of refinement, remote gear change, all that sort of business and that, leather interior, beautiful. But the bit I can't understand, and someone was going to have to explain it to me, why a Wolsey Hornet or a Riley Elf is less popular than a Mini. Just can't understand it. I just cannot work it out. Everywhere's better, everywhere you look's better, the finish is generally a little bit better, the refinements are way better, the room, the capacities are better. Look at the size, nice size boot in it. And they just don't sell like a basic Mini. Weird, I can't work it out. 6.5 grand would buy you a better Wolsey Hornet than you can a Mini, that's what I'm trying to say. So 6,500 quid would buy you a very nice Mini, but 6,500 quid will buy you a very, very, very nice Wolsey Hornet. So that makes this about 3 grand. Probably on a good day.
Those of a certain vintage will have no trouble recognising this car, the Volvo P1800.
The thing that made this car the most popular coupe of its day, if you like, was the television programme The Saint. That's what made it. He had a white one, Simon Templar. It was a massive programme. So that really did get these on fire. They were very, very popular from then on. I like them, I love them. They rot like a pear. Bulkhead everywhere, they rot everywhere, they really do. So you have to be a little bit careful with them, but you've got to have a bid on this car because it looks a very, very level car. I know there's going to be some rust issues here and there, we know that. Interior's a bit untidy, but I'll tell you what, that'll prove a good buy for someone, that car. You might be able to buy it for 10 grand. You are going to spend 10 grand on it, but then you will turn it into a 20 grand car. That to me is good business when it comes to classics. It's when you spend 30 grand on it and it turns it into a 20 grand car, that ain't so clever. Even I know that.
When it comes to classic cars, most people see eye to eye. But this Mitsuoka is a car that, shall we say, divides opinion.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because unless you're short-sighted or something, they're the ugliest thing in the world, aren't they? They are just shocking.
On the Mitsuoka website,
yes,
I think it's called a Vute.
That rings a bell. A Vute. Yeah, right, okay.
And it states that it's playful and beautiful.
I've yet to find the beautiful aspect of it. I'm walking around it now, but I'm not seeing the beautiful aspect. No.
Paul doesn't like it.
Well, he won't, will he? You don't know anything unless he's got a Scania badge on the front or a Land Rover badge that he can fix every day. We've had them in four-door form before now, in nice metallic blues and that, and by they've sold. You think they're going to do 2, 3, 4 grand because no one knows what they are. They wind up doing 6 or 7 grand. There's 20 years left in this car and more. What's it going to make? 4 grand? 4.5 grand? 20 years motoring? Cheap, isn't it? So you can't go wrong. It's a winner. It's an absolute guaranteed winner. Lot number 416 we're doing. It's a 1998 Nissan Mitsuoka. We've sold a couple of lovely ones at 6,000 and 7,000 quid. This is a really straight little motor, really level little thing, in white, suits it nicely. Going to submit the best bid today, starting with me, £1,800, 18 I've got, 1,800, £1,800, 2,000, £2,000, £2,000. Lovely little thing, sounds sweet, wants a battery on it, sweet as a nut, sounds lovely, beautiful engine, drove it onto the wagon myself. £2,000 for the first, £2,000 for the second, £2,000 third and last time, 2,000.
Perhaps Paul was right. Next up, the Wolseley.
No, lot 420, 1967, Wolsey Hornet, submit the best bid. Well, I'm not submitting 500 quid, that's for sure, but forget that.
Jerry, you went to get this way.
Huh?
You went to collect this.
Did?
Yeah, you did.
You know the motor now.
You were just testing them, weren't you?
Yeah, you know the motor. Right. I've got discretion on this. You're absolutely right. I collected it. Deceased estate, I'm very, very sorry about that. The family asked me to go and collect it, and I'll tell you what I told them it'll achieve, 3,500 quid. You remember? Good. Glad you do, because I didn't. But we do now. £1,400 I've got, 1,400, 1,600, 16, 1,800, 18, £1,800, a lovely little car. £2,000, 2,2, 2,002, 2,4, 2,004. They are coming to life now, 2,4, 2,600, 2,600. Can I say 28? 28 I can. Cheap car, worth 3.5 grand. I'm telling you, it's worth 3.5 grand. I'm not just spoofing. I'm telling you because I remember the car, I know the car. That's how I valued it, and I'm never wrong. Everyone knows I'm never wrong, Will, don't they?
Absolutely.
£3,000. £3,000 away, then £3,000. £3,000 for the first. £3,000 for the second. Third and last time, £3,000 provisionally. 3,000.
3,000 clinched it. Next up, the Volvo, which Derek said should do near 10 grand.
Lot number 432. 1971 Volvo 1800E. Now, another one from the same stable. Proper motor. Start me then. £7,000 I've got. 7172. 7,200. 72. 7,300. Worth more. I think this will be a Christmas car, this one. 74. 7,400. 75, 76, 77, 78, everyone's waking up, 79, 8, 81, 8,100, 8,100, all of a sudden, 8,001, realising, hang on, what we got here? 8,002, 83, 84, with you all the way, 8,005, 6, 7, 8, there you go, everyone's come away. 8,900, but I think we're undervaluing this one. 8,000, in fact, I know you are. 8,900, all done then, 8,900, I'm submitting it, 8,900. 8,900, provisional.
A snip at just under £9,000. And closing out the sale, the MGA.
Thank you for your bidding, gentlemen. Third and last time submitting it.
And £14,000 for the MGA makes it just over £30,000 for the whole of the Durham Hall.
It's something that I've always liked the look of. It just looked like a lovely old-style MG.
Former commercial pilot David Kirkwood is wheeling out his latest flight of fancy, the 1960 MGA Roadster. Helping give it a push is pal Tom Gilbert.
So I'm checking it's going to take you then, Dave?
Well, providing the engine runs okay, so I think it'll probably take a day to get the engine going.
A day, that's fairly optimistic, isn't it?
The bodywork looks quite tidy, but all the suspension rubbers and everything are gone, so I think it's going to be a winter project.
You've got to have a passion for it. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it literally doesn't make any sense. If you wanted just the car, you just go and buy one that someone else has already done. But, you know, you buy a project, you do it all up, and then when it breaks down driving down the road, at least if you've put it together, you can't blame no one else. Good luck with it all, Dave.
See you soon then. Well, you could see that the bodywork was in good shape. I had a very quick look underneath, and you could see the chassis was all nicely painted. There didn't seem to be any corrosion. It all looks very tidy. The engine has been repainted. They've got into all the nooks and crannies, so it must have been painted whilst the engine was out. There doesn't seem to be anything really nasty. There's bits of corrosion, and obviously the rubber hoses are going to need changing. But I'll do minimal work just to get it running, and I don't think there should be an awful lot wrong with it. That's my plan anyway.
The MG was an impulse buy. What David was really after was some new bits for his other MG.
This is my MGB that I bought in 1982. It's a new body shell, so all the metal is all new. It's the original engine that I had in the car, but it's just all been out. It's been in pieces and been rebuilt. So the interior's all new. That's the current job, is fitting all the carpets and the seats. That's where getting the MGA started, because it was buying these wheels from Mathewson's in their auction that led me to go there. Myself and my wife decided to make a weekend of it and going up there. She and I both saw the MGA and thought it looked a very pretty car. The wire wheels were £100 and I paid £14,000 for the car plus the commission. So yeah, it ended up being an expensive trip to York. I think it's lovely from the front, the lines and the curves. It's a classic design. That's the way they built cars, and it's nice flowing, gentle lines. Very simple shape, very simple car. It just looks the part. I think this will be a Sunday driver. My daughters have got their eye on it as well. I've got two daughters. Mind you, I've got two MGs, so hopefully they can sort it out between them.
So you might potentially end up with no MGs.
Yes. A modern car, it'll be faster, more comfortable, but it's not about the speed on the road. It's just about driving it and enjoying it. It's the rattles and the leaks that somehow add to it. I went out for a set of wire wheels and ended up with an MGA, but so far I'm very happy with it.
Been contacted by a smashing guy who's got a little three-wheeler. All proceeds to the car are going to go to a local charity, a local hospital charity that done him really proud, I think, with some operations earlier in his life. The guy in question sounds a right top lad, and yeah, the story with it and the background to it and where it's going to go, I just think it's great. I genuinely think it's great. Yeah, yeah, and just the whole thing. I think, yeah. I mean, I'm getting emotional now thinking about it. It's terrible, isn't it? So I think if I'm getting emotional about it, I think everyone else is going to be getting emotional about it. So yeah, it's going to be an emotional day, I would think.
It really all began at a pub in Rotherham. My son were in middle there showing off, a bit like his dad, and he's showing off. And he said to somebody, or he shouted to somebody, "We think my father's lost his marbles because he wants a three-wheeler."
John Holmes was always in full possession of his marbles, and so bought the Robin 16 years ago now. But almost immediately, disaster struck. It was lifelong pal and mechanic Ken Melling who waded into the rescue.
I've left this, Ken, as a memento.
Right. Yeah, well, that's it. I remember it well.
Yeah. When it actually flooded. When Sheffield floods came in 15th of June.
2007.
2007, that's it. We turned up after about 3 or 4 days once the water levels had got down. And really, you know, Ken pulled it out at that point. And he put spark plugs in, and all of a sudden, it went. And we drove it out through a security checkout place, and the guys there came out and actually started clapping us.
It sounds like it's almost as much Ken's car as it is yours.
I think he regards it that way. He calls himself Uncle Ken to it, and he talks to it. I've heard him.
One of the things I've done is painted it all for him. I've sprayed it all, and we've had a few other problems as well, but generally speaking, we've managed to cope and keep it going for the last 16 years. So I don't think we've done too bad, really.
We like to call it a multi-purpose vehicle. I can get a full pallet, a Euro pallet in here, you know, so it's really quite something. It takes 2 seconds to do it and convert it. If you want to time me from now, first off, we take off the luggage shelf. The involved bit is just unclipping these 2 clips, push it down, and voila. That's more space than a lot of vans, and it's as quick as that.
The second most popular fiberglass car after the oh-so-similar Chevy Corvette, the Robin followed the old Regal, and until the rules changed, you could drive one on a motorbike licence. They got to 60 eventually, but you were a glass-half-full type of driver if you opted for the 3rd lane of the M6. But fuel economy at the claimed 70 miles per gallon was good. Designed by the same team that came up with the Bush radio and Luke Skywalker's Landspeeder, it was the price that was the great thing. The car gave a welcome crack at motoring to many. Production ended in 2001 with a limited edition special. Like a Bentley, the 65 had gold metallic paint, leather seats and a walnut dash. Looking good on Mini-Lite alloys, for £10,000 it was, cushy.
Here we go, starting up. Yeah, oh, you'd think it were an E-Type, wouldn't you? People crossing roads, they need to hear me coming, so I don't get anybody, you know, on the phones, not watching what they're doing, stepping out in front of electric cars. They hear me coming, even if they're on the phones.
John promised his wife, Janet, he'd sell the car 6 years ago, but he didn't. He was just waiting for the right time and the best possible reason.
Whatever it makes will be great, and that's going to the Children's Hospital at Sheffield, purely because I did spend a lot of time either in hospital or recovering. I had no fingers, I was born with no fingers, and the fingers came through the skin grafts and releasing the skin. And it was really the making of me, that. You know, it really did make such a difference.
You're giving back, are you?
Yes, I'd like to feel I am. And as it's been said to me, it's nice to do it while you're alive. It's a bit late once you've gone to see the benefits of this sort of thing. So I'm quite, yeah, I feel quite well about it.
Tow truck parked up and taking a casual stroll around the suburbs of Rotherham is Dave, here to collect John Holmes' Reliant Robin.
All right then. So John, is it Ken?
I'm Ken, yeah.
Ken and John.
Yeah.
How are you, mate?
John's
Okay.
all right.
How are you, my love?
Yeah.
You all right? Long suffering. And there's the old car, eh? Funny little thing, isn't she?
Yeah.
I catch her, isn't it, really?
I'll wander up there and get me ramps ready.
Right.
You spin around and then we'll get her on.
Okay.
Okay, mate. I'll see you in a minute.
I'll be upset, but I think I've got to be honest about it. My marriage will improve greatly once it's gone.
It's better trained than I am, I think. It gets more tender loving care than I've ever had.
That'll do her. Sorted. That'll do. I think they're brilliant, like little three-wheelers. They're just odd, aren't they? So are most of the people that own them, Mike, but say no more.
16 years of my life, that. Yes, I've enjoyed it.
So has it kept you and John, you know, close friends?
Oh, yes, it has, certainly, yes.
Of course it has. It's cost him a fortune to keep him looking after
Can't
it.
find anybody else to do it. That's when I've broken down. There's an old saying, a friend in need is a nuisance.
You didn't see him on a regular basis for social. Saw him on a regular basis to keep this thing going.
I think the time's right, and it's going to a good cause. When John was a child, he was in and out of Sheffield Children's Hospital for about 6-7 years to rebuild his hand, so it is going to a good cause.
Right. Well, I'm going to go.
Right.
Back to Thornton Down and go and get my shorts on and go back to Thornton Down. It's a lot warmer in Thornton Dale. A lot warmer, honestly. A lot warmer. A lot warmer. Right, I'm going to go. I'll just say goodbye to your good lady. Yeah, likewise, mate. Thanks ever so much. And you, John, all the very best, fella.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Annie. Thank you, love. Hey, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Right, I'll see you a bit later on, guys.
Thank you.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Real nice people. Did it about 16, 17 years, something like that. But yeah, now time for it to move on to pastures new. Yeah, if we can raise a couple of £1,000, I'll be over the moon, and I think so will John. So, and Janet, not the John and Janet. Not, you're probably too young for John and Janet, or Janet and John, should I say? Janet and John. The times I've cried with laughter with Terry Wogan with Janet and John. We weren't quite crying with laughter today, but we had a bit of a giggle. So yeah, all went real well. Yeah, all went good.
Hot on the heels of his tricky Surrey trip, Derek's back behind the wheel. This time for a little R&R. That's Reliant and Robin.
Oh, she's all wily, old girl. Hang on, she got any brakes? Oh yeah, oh, a little bit, yeah.
It's like being in a washing machine.
Oh, listen it, look. Second class ride's better than a first class walk. Believe me, I've done both and I know which one I prefer. Brilliant bit of kit, look at this. Little gemmer. Oh man, this is luxury compared to what I was used to my three-wheelers.
So this is taking you back to your days when you
taking me back? Take me back. I could pick the boys up and we could go to a disco tonight, mate, I'll tell you. No problem. Put a few glad rags on, I'll be there.
Who's going to buy this then, Derek?
Me.
I
love it. Isn't it great, eh? Lovely interior, really nice. But no, I'm serious, all jokes aside, seriously. If I'd have had this when I was 16, I'd have thought I was a millionaire. What a car.
What a car for how much money?
They're like 12 or 1400 quid, aren't they? 1500 quid, something like that. That's what.
Worth every penny of it.
Oh, every halfpenny. Every penny.
Lot number 452, 1989, Reliant Robin.
Because it's a very important one, this one, ladies and gentlemen, because all proceeds from the sale of this little Reliant Robin are going to the Sheffield's Children's Hospital charity. Absolutely top marks there to John, the owner of the little Robin. Had a pleasure of meeting you. Don't remember having any chocolate cake, but anyhow.
That's the reason I didn't go.
Is that, yeah, well, there's room for improvement there, John, but anyway, we won't mention it anymore. Where are we going to be? £1,000 another way. At £1,000, £1,100 then, £1,200 we've got. At £1,400 we've got. At £1,500, £1,600 then. At £1,600. At £1,600 and £7. At £1,700. At £1,700. The Bangers and Cash team are buying it for charity. At £1,700. At £1,800. At £1,800. 1,008, you're out. 1,009. At 1,009. £2,000 down in Lincoln. 2-1. Are we there? At £2,100 for the first, second, third and last time at £2,100, but it won't stop there because we'll top it up to 2.5. There you go. Is that all right? There you go.
It's a first, a joint Matthewson's stroke Bangers restoration team venture. There is clearly a plan.
Super. Everyone's happy.
But at the moment, that plan is under wraps.